Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this live stream via Zoom onto my YouTube channel. I'm Louise Daniels. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator up here in Nottinghamshire in the UK, and I'd love to share with you today what we're going to be doing this evening with the Marbled Elegance DSP. I'll just introduce you to two of my team, Elizabeth and Caroline.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I am craftykapers.co.uk and I would love to show you what I've done with this DSP. I think it's gorgeous, it's opulent, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So over to Caroline.
Hi, I'm Caroline. I'm a Stampin' Up, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator also. I live in the Retford area of North Nottinghamshire, and I've been with Stampin' Up now for 3 years. Loving every minute. Loving the new DSP for the Marbled Elegance. Had a great time developing a bit of a fun fold.
So I'm going to go first this evening and introduce you to the suite. In order to do so, I need to just turn my camera around like so. And there we go. So this is one of Stampin' Up suites. It's an online exclusive, and it comes with the Hearts of Elegance stamps, the Stampin' Up dies, cut and embossing dies, which I'll get out and share with you in a moment. Some hearts, adhesive hearts, which are really pretty, and some gold twine. Now, within it, you also get a pack of 12 by 12. I've just cut it down while I've been using it, of these amazing papers, which are shades of red, cherry cobbler, poppy parade, flirty flamingo, and melon mambo, and lots of gold. It's marbled, hence the name. So that's one paper, two, three, four, five, six. And then if I turn them over, they've got some really plain backgrounds, which are also really lovely. So again, we've got the more cherry cobbler, the stripes, the melon mambo, and poppy parade, and another cherry cobbler. So without further ado, the other thing that is the part I'm going to introduce you to this evening, that's part of the suite, are these gorgeous little gift bags. Who doesn't need a gift bag? You get little tiny ones and slightly larger ones. There are 16, 8 of each in the packet, and they're already gusseted and filled, but above stand-up base like so. And I thought they were really great fun. So I'll show you tonight what I've done with those. Now, because I don't really think anybody wants to sit and watch me use my die cutter, I've preempted it, and I've used the dies to cut out a whole load of hearts. You can see there are other dies within the pack that cut out some of the stamps, but I've just gone with the hearts. Some of them are embossed, like this one, and some I've done them in gold. Some of them are stitched, different sizes. There are a couple of bigger ones, which again, because of the size of the bags, I haven't used. Now, the first bag I've brought in, what I've done is I've cut some of the DSP. So the DSP is 11 centimeters by 14. And I'm just going to glue that literally straight onto the bag. I am, if I can find a glue that works. Anybody else is having trouble with their glue at the moment, but mine's either coming out so fast. And I'm going to pop that on there. When you're gluing it to the bag, just make sure that you actually put on plenty, a little bit more than you might do if you're adhering it to a card, because obviously in a minute you're going to want to open up the bag. Now, I have a little crafty technique for you here. The gusset at the bottom, that fold there, that piece is 3 centimeters. So what I've done, same size piece of DSP, 11 by 14, but I've scored it across, can you see, at 3 centimeters, so that when I glue it on, like so. And if you're eagle-eyed, you'll spot that I haven't used the same piece on both sides. I've just realised from the background, when I glue it on, I'm going to put that into the fold so that when I want to fold, whoops, let's just stick him on first. Hold him into place where you want him. Use that little bit of wiggle room. And then you're going to be able to fold up your bag. But when it stands, it will have DSP on both sides. Now, all I'm going to do then, just for a truly simple little piece of crafting, is I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to find a white piece of card, like magic. I'm going to bring in my Memento ink, and I'm going to choose one of the stamps from the set here that says, I love this one, it says sending lots of love. And I'm just going to grab it. I am not, because I can't see it in this light. Where's it gone? It's here, but I can't see it. There we go. I can't see it for looking. It's stuck on the wrong side of my piece of plastic, would you believe? There we go. Got it. And I'm going to grab a block. And as always with the photopolymer, if you remember, if I drop it down, pick it up like that. Make sure with the black ink, it's the only one I do say to tap it quite a bit to make sure you've got plenty of ink on. Sending lots of love. I'm going to pop that on there like so. Put my ink lid back on so I don't ink me. I'll keep doing that. Use my snips just to chop it off about so. A little bit nearer maybe. And then I'm going to fishtail one end like so. And there we go. So I've got a sentiment, says sending lots of love. You could obviously put anything on it. You could put happy birthday, you could put happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to pop that on there. I've got some of this gold twine, which is really pretty. And I'm going to just unwind it like so. Just a random amount, nothing too big, nothing too small. Snip it off. And then before I do anything else, I'm going to bring in some of these glue dots. These are from one of the kits, but they are the best thing ever. Pop a glue dot on the back, like so. Unhook it off. So you've got an adhesive spot. Now here's a tip. Take your white, and depending on how much loops you want, I don't want very big loops. I'm going to do it around 2 fingers, not 3. Just loop your twine. Can you see what I'm doing? Around my fingers a couple of times, like so. And that will give me, in a minute, something to stick to the back of this little sentiment. And then what I can do is grab another sticky dot, like so. Take the peel off with my take a pick, and there we go. Just use that to catch the ends, because I don't want loads of ends sticking out. I'm not making a bow or anything. Hopefully that's got all of that. And then I'm also going to get some dimensionals, because I do want to lift this off the bag. But then before I put it on, what I'm going to do is bring my bag back in and find some of these hearts. Oh, there's a nice big red plain one there. And I'm going to glue 1 or 2. I'm going to go for 5 of these, but it's quite a big bag. Don't want to hide up all the glue, the gold. So I've got 1. What other ones have we got? That's another nice one. Just popping some glue on. Then I'm going to unpeel my sentiment, like so, and pop that on across my bag. Make sure my twiny bits go where I want my twiny bits to go. Make sure the bottom of that one is sticking out. And to be honest, I'm just going to bring in, oh, I don't know, shall we have a little gold one down here, I think. And I think actually, having said I was going to use 5, I think I'm probably only going to use 2, 3. So there we go. I have done one bag there, and hopefully you can see that it will still, because I've folded the back, it will pop up like so, she says. There it goes, it opens up. I could do a fancy top for it, but there we go. There's a bag, ideal for Valentine's Day. And then what I've done with the little ones, I bring a little one in. I had lots of fun with these because often when you're cutting and making cards, you come up with all sorts of bits and pieces. So all I've done here is I had some strips, some random strips, which I am going to just literally glue across the bag to one side, then I can trim it in a minute. I've got that one. I'm going to turn this one over to use the other side, like so. Leave a little bit of gap, little bit of white. You can see what I'm doing. Just make sure again, because it is a bag, you do need to be a little bit more sticky, a little bit more making sure that it has actually adhered to your bag. And then I'm going to pop one on here. And I'm nearly coming to the end of my little demonstration of what you can do with this incredible paper. And in a moment, I'm going to switch my camera off and introduce you to Elizabeth, I believe, who is going to make us something using a different product from Stampin'Up, still using the same paper. I won't tell you what she's using, but it's good fun. So do keep watching. We've never done this before, so when I start switching between cameras, anything could happen and probably will. But before I finish this one, I just want to get a little Stampin'Up dimensional on the back of here. I hope you're enjoying this. We just thought it was a really good way of sharing the products and how different people actually use Stampin'Up products. So I'm going to pop a pink heart on there like so. And I'm just going to find another stamp set, another sentiment that just says, oh, I don't know whether I actually need the sentiment. Yes, I will. I'll have this one that says "Be Mine." It is for Valentine's Day after all, this one. So I'm going to bring that one, and this one I'm going to do with Melon Mambo. And then just before I finish, so I'm just going to do exactly the same. Make sure, beauty of the polymer stamps, you can see through as to whether you've actually got enough ink on before you stamp. There we go, "Be Mine." And who knows, you could pop a nice little bit of chocolate or something else. One or two of you eagle-eyed might have noticed that I've actually done a one sheet wonder with this DSP that is also on my YouTube channel. So if you're wanting to, you can scroll back a bit and you can see, and I'll show you how I finished the cards in a second. I've got 2 or 3 cards that I can share with you, because I really do think this suite is amazing. I'll just stick, what is it with super sticky dimensionals? And the only thing I haven't used, so I'll pop a few on here, are my stickers, my shiny hearts. And I'm just going to, there are 3 sizes again, which I really think is useful. I'm going to pop one down there. I'm going to find a middle-sized one there, like so, and pop him on there. And then a tiny one up there. And in fact, I'm going to put a couple on here too. To be honest, like lots of things in life, I forget I've actually got these things. So let's put another little heart on here. And we'll put a tiny, tiny one. So I have actually got 5 on here, even though it wasn't quite what I intended. But there we go. So that's one way of showing you. There's another bag I made earlier. There are some of the bags from the Stampin'Up suite. And I think they're really, really useful. You can see my big pile of hearts there. And the other thing I was going to just show you very briefly, I'll just lift those out of the way, are some of the cards I made earlier just to show you the versatility. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day. Happy birthday. Happy birthday with the Endless Love, Enjoy Little Things stamp set. And there we go, more of a Valentine's card. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to try playing with the cameras and seeing if I can switch myself off and introduce you again to Elizabeth. And just one final thing, I will put it in the comments and the description on YouTube. If anybody wants to order this suite, the whole suite, from myself or Caroline or Elizabeth, drop us a message, anybody who does so, and I will send you a gift in the post to say thank you very much. So I'm going to turn me off like so.
Hello? Oh, hello. I hope you can see me. So I'm Elizabeth at craftykapers.co.uk. I'm based in Newark, which is in Nottinghamshire. And yeah, I want to talk to you about what I have done with this paper. I didn't buy the suite, but you don't always have to buy everything. So let me just switch cameras and get a top-down view. So the paper I love, absolutely love. This reminds me of strawberry cheesecake. It's just gorgeous. You've seen the papers from Louise. So I have teamed it with the Adoring Hearts dies and embossing folder. Now, when I buy something, I want it to work very hard for me. So I adore the hybrid folders. And the reason why I adore them is because you can emboss. I will show you a little bit of embossed card. You can emboss. How gorgeous is that? But you can also put your dies inside your embossing folder and run it through, and so you get your embossed cut out hearts all at the same time. Now I like things that are quick and easy, save me time and work hard, so hence I always look out for these hybrid folders. Also, this is 6x6. I love embossing folders that are 6x6 because I make a lot of home decor. And if I bring this up to the camera, can you see this embossed background? This is also a 6x6 Stampin' Up embossed background. And I think it just adds lots of texture. And I like it being a 6x6 frame. I don't always make cards. In fact, cards are just a little bit of what I do. So anyway, going back to this embossing folder and the dies, what do we get with the dies? So, you know, we've got the hearts and they cut out 9 hearts, and then we have the beautiful little hearts in between. Then we have all of these dies, and I've cut them out just so that you can see exactly what you get. So we have all of these, which are different patterns. Then we've got these, which are all different. And we've got these 4 gorgeous hearts, these 3 little hearts, these little twigs, these leaves. I love, love, love this. And some plain hearts. Now, I've just used white and gold, but that's because it goes with the DSP, but you can use whatever you want. So yeah, I highly recommend looking out for hybrid embossing folders. They do a lot more work for you. So the first card I made is a Valentine's card, as you can see, and I used the stamp set, which is from the annual catalogue. That's something else that I want to point out. There are so many products coming all the time, new catalogues, online exclusives, etc., etc. But I always go back to the annual catalogue. This is in the annual catalogue and it is beautiful. So I have used the Love You sentiment here, and as you can see, I have cut out my hearts with the Adoring Hearts embossing folder using the DSP and just adhered them. And then I've made a little sneak peek. So using glue dots, here we can open the secret love letter. So that's top secret. You can say whatever you want. And again, in the lifetime of love, forever and always. So I really, really love this as a Valentine's card. And just to embellish it a little bit more, I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool, but the Take a Pick tool is so much more than just picking things off. So I want to put some hearts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Stampin' Up's fine tip glue pen, and I'm going to approximate just a tiny bit of glue there, and I'm going to pick it up with this. It's got glue paste, and I can stick it straight down. There's no need for me to cut everything out with adhesive backing, which, to be honest with you, I actually forget about. I've got it, but I'm not that organised. So another heart there, and a little dinky one there. Oops, stick that down. So how easy is that with this little tool? And inside, I want to put, I'm going to put these on. So I'm going to pick them up again, and I'm just going to run my little fine glue, and there we go. That's my first card. I better not try and put the lid on because my eyesight is atrocious, even though I've got new glasses. So, secret love letter, the DSP, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I always say, don't forget to look at the annual catalogue. There's so many beautiful things. So on to my next card. Well, this card is a bit of a fancy fold. It's a bit of a, it's a one sheet wonder. Who doesn't like a one sheet wonder? So let me get some of the DSP. And you are literally going to cut 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. So you're going to get 4 cards out of this one sheet of paper. So that's 3 inches by 12. Then you're going to cut 1 inch off. Well, I personally cut 1 inch off it before. Then I do 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. And then I save all my scraps because that's vitally important. So let me show you how I did this. So let's get my little pieces together. So here's my DSP, which is 3 inches by 11 inches. And I've scored it at 3/4 inches and 5.5 inches. Now, what I want to do is fold that, and I'm going to use my bone folder. So I want to get that nice and neat. It's even more important when you're lining your paper up, because you'll find that these things are invaluable to get everything straight. Then this is my 3/4 inch score line, and I'm just gonna glue this down using my Tombow. Just take that off. So here's my Tombow. Just going to stick that down. Then I have cut out a piece of melon mambo. I know it's very bright, but we need brightness, don't we? And I'm going to adhere that in the middle of this 5.5 by 4 inches melon mambo cardstock. Let's stick that down. I'm going to try and eyeball it in the middle. Now the next section, don't appear to have cut my piece out. Oh yes, I have. Here I have, is where to write greeting. So I'm just going to adhere that inside. Don't need a lot of glue. A little goes a long, long way. It's better to have less than it all seeping out of the sides. Now with our scrap that we've cut off from the 12 inches, I am going to glue just down 3 sides only, because I want to make a pocket. So carefully, just a little bit of glue, there we go. And I'm going to make a pocket right at the bottom. Now, first, I'm going to decorate my card. So, using these hearts that have been embossed and cut out with the Adoring Hearts embossing folder and dies, first of all, I wanted to give them some colour. So, started off with, oop, come on, there you go. So, I've started off with my trusty brush. Again, all these tools, I can't tell you, they make the world of difference. So I'm just putting some petal pink, which coordinates with the DSP, but if you actually plonk that on the card, it just doesn't look right. But I just wanted to add some depth. So some petal pink. Some more petal pink. And then I'm going to bring in my melon mambo, which is the colour of the base. Now, believe it or not, people, I have had this ink spot for, it's coming up for 13 years, and it still hasn't run out of ink. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to put a bit of Melon Mambo. Don't want to really overload it. And on this one, just to put a hint of colour, but I don't want too much Melon Mambo. I like playing with colour. I like not having the same colour and just having contrasts. So I do believe that I am going to use my Tombow again. And you need more glue if you have embossed something. So I'm going to use a bit more Tombow. Put it up there. Petal pink in the middle. And then this heart here. So we're decorating it up. Now let's have a look at the dies. I think, again, using my putty holder, I think that I am going to put a little bit of glue. This is a fine tip glue from Stampin' Up. And I think I'm going to overlay that heart. Oops, come back. Come back and stick. That's it. And you notice that all the hearts are different, which I love. Absolutely love this set. Gonna put a little bit of glue. I wish I was as organised as Caroline, who does remember to use her adhesive sheets. I'm just going to put him as an overlay. And pick this up. Do we want one of those? Do we want one of those? I don't know. Let me get my sentiment first. So I've got some plain white. And I should... Well, let me start with what I'm going to put in this little pocket. So in this little pocket, again, it's from the annual catalogue. And it's called Unbounded Love. So I'm just going to stamp love on each side of these little hearts. Not because I intend this to go to some sort of Valentine's present. I think these are just great little gifts. And if you can give the gift of love, then that's a fabulous gesture. So that's heart number 1. Heart number 2. Just pop that on my ink spot. So here is a piece of, it doesn't actually say that it coordinates with the DSP, but I think it does. So I've just used a piece of bubble bath and I've stamped it on either side with the rose from Lifetime of Love. And then I'm just going to make it into a quick little bookmark by gluing on a love, tiny bit of glue, turning him over, and then I'm going to put the glue on the heart. So that I can align it. And then my little bookmark of love can slip in my little pocket. So my sentiment, I did have one cut out. Seem to have misplaced it, but doesn't matter because these are the ones that I can show you that I have made earlier. So again, using the stamp set of, wait a minute, where's it gone? That's the problem. Too many. Here we go. The Unbounded Love. I think this is so beautiful. So many beautiful, beautiful sayings in this. I really recommend that you look it up. So, just for you, and we've got a little bookmark with love. I'm going to use these funky, funky gems, which are called Sunny Day Iridescent Spots, dots even. And I've put that on the front. I'm not going to put it on my bookmark. So here are the ones that I've created earlier. So in your one sheet, you can create all these 4 cards. So that is, in my book, that's pretty fantastic. And I think they make a lovely little gift, and they would mean something special to someone. So this DSP is, in my opinion, opulent, beautiful, doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day, although my Valentine's card I kind of like. So here we go again. And I love these. So yes, I highly, highly recommend you seeking out things that will do a lot of hard work. So you've got your embossing folder. I store this inside my embossing folder, and I just cut my card at 6 by 6, run it through, it embosses and cuts at exactly the same time. What more could I want? And then I've got my additional dies, and if I don't want hearts cut out, then it's easy. I just use the embossing folder to create a beautiful background. I hope you've enjoyed this. So now it's over to Caroline. Thank you for watching. Bye.
So, thank you very much, Elizabeth. That was an amazing cards that you made there with one sheet wonder. Fantastic. I am adoring this paper. It is amazing. We'll just all bowl away with it. It's fabulous. So this evening, I shall be making you a bit of a fancy fold. I'm just going to show you it this way so that you can get the impression of it. That's like that. So I'm going to turn my camera down. Hopefully everything will work because you know what technology is like. So let's go to, yes, marvelous. So that's the card looking at it this way. You can see the glimmering hearts and the embossed part there. So I'm just going to put that to one side to remind me how to make it. And I'm just going to show you that you can't have a naked envelope. Put that to one side. So we are using the Hearts of Elegance stamp set and dies. And I decided to focus my project more on the actual die set using the DSP, but I wanted to really show off the hearts in the die set. So the first thing that I did was I die cut them all out so that I could see what I had got to play with, because it was, oh, there's quite a lot here. What am I going to use? What am I going to do? And I knew what card I was going to make because I had an idea of the hearts popping out of it. So my first problem, it wasn't a problem really, was that one was going to be way too big and would dangle off the edge. If you wanted to use it, obviously it would fit that way round. You can't really see the contrast there. If you were doing it in a landscape type card, that one would work. So that one unfortunately didn't make it into this project. However, I played around with all the rest of the different hearts and then started to think about the colours and how I would marry them all up together, because there are quite a lot of different reds and pinks, and you'd think normally that there'd be quite a clashing type of situation. But I think once they've got it all together and you've got your DSP with all the colours in, it's just amazing. So here's something I prepared earlier, and I'm just going to check my phone for messages because, oh no, because I had a problem with my sound the last time I did this, and I just needed to see if anybody was telling me, can't hear you. Right, so this is a normal cardstock size. It's 14.9 by 21, scoring at 10.5 and 5.25. So that literally is half of that distance. So what we're going to do next is we're going to burnish our folds with our trusty bone folder like that. It's nice and sharp, and then going to burnish that fold there as well. That is an ordinary sized cardstock like that, but we just put an extra fold in it there. Okay, I'm just going to put that to one side. Then we need 2 squares, and I've done this in the Melon Mambo, so it's really bright pink. And these are 5 by 5 centimetre squares with a score line halfway through, so scoring at 2.5 centimetres. So you need 2 of them. Okay, we'll burnish those while we've got our bone folder available like that. They're all ready to do what we're going to do. Then we have just a square piece, and that is 6 by 6 centimetre squares. Just stays like that. You don't score it or anything. So we've got that. Then we move on to the DSP. We've got one piece of the DSP, which is a normal matte size, which is 10 centimetres by 14.4 centimetres. And then we've got 2 long rectangles, which are, and I just need to look at my measurements on my worksheet. It's 14.4, and then it is 4.75 centimeters that way. So we need 2 of them. Yeah. So what we're going to do first is we're going to glue our DSP onto the back of the card, but it's kind of inside the card at the same time. So get our trusty Tombow, which is the best glue in the world because it sticks well and quickly. You still get your bit of wriggle room when you're placing it down onto your card base. So let's put that down like that. Make sure you've got a nice even border around the outside. So the next thing we are going to do is going to be with those 2 folded squares that we've got. And we are going to glue them in that position like that. And what you can see in the pink against pink, but we're going to glue those into that position. Because if I show you on the original card, you can see if I fold that down, you can see where that square is going to go. The half of it will go underneath DSP, and half of it is sticking up. I'll show you how that pans out whilst we're gluing it. So I'm going to glue on one rectangle. My camera's in a different position, so I've now got to put stuff in the right place because I was working over here before, so I've got to remember to put it over here. There you go. Where's it gone? There. Right. So it's not a scientific measurement. So it's probably about 1 inch down from the top of the card. Like that. Just butt it up to the score line on the card, just so that when you fold the card, it's still got a little bit of give. So then we're going to do the next little rectangle, and we're going to place that exactly in the same position on the other side, with just a little gap in the middle so that you can bend the card nicely without any mishap. Okay, so now we're going to put the 2 pieces of DSP on over the top of the rectangle. Okay, like that. We'll get our glue. Like so. This has got, I don't know if you can see, a lovely gold fleck in it. White, real red, flirty flamingo, I think. Like I said, you really wouldn't think that these colours would go. You think they clash. But in this context, it's just amazing. Okay, so that's one side. And making sure it's nice glued down around the top of that bit, because you sort of see a little where it's gone over there. Just make sure it's nicely glued down around that rectangle. So flip the other bits of rectangle over to the other side. And glue, I'm going to put that way. Just going to check my messages again because I'm hoping that, no, sorry, my sound is okay. It's just somebody's trying to organise a birthday party on our street, and the WhatsApp messages coming through. Really should have put my phone on silent. But there we go. That's another thing to put on the learning curve, isn't it? Right. So I want that bit of gold down at the bottom, because obviously the top half is going to be predominated with the hearts. So there we go. We've got the 2 flaps now at the top. They're all good and free. That's right. So now we get the 6x6 piece of card, and we're going to glue that over the top like that. and that gives it a little bit more surface area and a bit more strength to the whole sort of structure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these bits and not this bit, because I might have an edge around the outside that's will then stick down to your card. I was going to see if I can turn my phone off to silent because there's all sorts going on. There we go. Right, so what did I say? We're going to glue these bits like that. Just quite a new glue, so it comes out quite quick. So we're just going to place it on top like that, centrally, and then just give it a hold it in place while it just sets. So there we go. So now you can see we've got a bit of a platform going on we can stick our hearts to. Yeah. Right. So let's just put the lid on with glue for the moment. I spent quite a bit of time sort of working out. I knew which size hearts I wanted to use, but it was all, what paper am I going to use? What cardstock am I going to use? And I definitely wanted to get some of the gold involved in it. So I thought, because this one's got an embossed pattern on it, I needed a plain cardstock. And what better was the gold foil specialty paper that you can get. I'm not sure what catalogue it's in because it's been around a bit, but it's still a current product. So that is, as you can just see, the relief pattern on there. It's beautiful. I wanted the big heart to put a sentiment on. So it was right in your face, basically, so you couldn't miss what that was all about. And so I've just basically, I'm going for love you. What more do you need to say? Now this was with Memento Black. I'm going to just get my Memento Black, give it a good go. Just going to have a little practice stamp. Make sure it's all coming through. Oh yes, that looks nice. So good stamp, and then I'm going to get it central into the heart like that. Hold it down a bit. There we go. Oh yes, look at that. Beautiful. Even though I say so myself. Right, let's put the lid on that so we don't end up with black ink everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this heart on first. And I carefully chose the position of this die because I wanted to get some of this flirty flamingo in, because that is that colour and I wanted that to tie in. So basically I'm going to glue the back of the heart where it's going to touch the square. It's going to overlap square, so I don't want it to go further over, otherwise we'll end up in a horrible gluey sticky mess. We'll just check. Oh yes, I have got some glue there. I'm just going to wipe that off with my finger because we could end up in a terrible mess. Now it's the other side light. That's fine. Yeah. Right. So that's flat to the square because we have glued it, because otherwise we start building more dimensionals, it'll be like a house brick and we won't be able to send it to anybody. So take a pick. The large dimensionals we are going to put on the back of the big love. I'm going to make sure that fits on the card nicely, that this doesn't overhang here. So I'm just going to work out where I need to put my dimensionals. I think we're going to have one in the middle there. Because I haven't pickled the back off, I can keep placing it down to work out where I'm going to put my dimensionals. Otherwise that could end up in a bit of a mess. So let's put that there. I think that should be okay. I think I might just put a couple more on, just to, because it is quite a big part. I'll just quickly take off the little backings, like so, and then we're going to place it on our other heart like that. Okay, let me just have a quick look at my original design so that I don't go all cockeyed. Right, so I've got this little one here and an even smaller one here, which has got the stitched edge. But I wanted that to be in a light colour so that you could see it nicely. So I'm basically just going to stick that on top of there, just to give a bit of contrast at the back. Quick splodge of glue, because I'm going to glue this so that's nice and flat, and I will then glue it on to the big heart, because otherwise it'll be extending and extending and extending, and we'll not have room for anything. I'm just going to place that while I get my other heart so we know where we're going with that. Yes, that is looking good. So I want glue on that top left hand side like that. So I haven't gone right over the heart, I've just done that top lobe, don't know what you call it, just placing that there. Make sure my glue hasn't, if it's splodged a little bit, make sure it doesn't stick, because it'll then stick down to your card. I might just be getting a wipe thing out in a moment when showing you what else we're doing. Right, then we've got the beautiful embossed gold one, and that's going to be down there, center stage. So that one is also got to have some glue on a little bit there and around there. Not too much, because it's going to squirt through. There's sort of little holes. Put there like that. Raise it up a bit so we can see all the detail of all the textured ones. We've got the stitching around the big one and the embossed this one. So, and then the last thing we've got to do on the card is we're going to have a heart to write our dear so and so, I love you so much. So just quickly pop glue on there. Pop it down at the, I'm going to pop it down here because I don't really want to cover up that gold there. And then we're going to do the finishing magic touch. We've got our little gold stitched one. We're going to put 2-dimensional, possibly 3-dimensional, because you want this to be really, glue on me, really sturdy, and because it performs a function. It's like the stopper that stops the card from slipping. I don't know what you'd call it really. So then put that in the edge of the card as far as we can, and in the central position there, like that, some dimensional, so that when our card is up, the heart stops the card from moving, and that gives you, just going to have to stick that out. So this is why you don't put too much glue on your card. It sticks. I'll have to address that. There we go. There is the finished card with our little stopper here. Stops the card from slipping. There we go. And we've got a little sentiment section there to write, dear so-and-so, I love you so much. So there we go. And the last piece is our never have a naked envelope, is this stamp here. which is in the stamp set, and I didn't bring an envelope up with me because they're all downstairs ready for me to take to my first Caroline's Creative Crafting at Clarborough Village Hall in Clarborough near Retford. So I've got organised, everything's downstairs, and I forgot to bring the envelopes. But anyway, that's that stamp there that would go on there. I was going to do it in real red, because real red's in the list of colours, and then another one on the back like so. So that's my card using the Marbled Elegance. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Nearly forgot. We've got the hearts, the foil hearts here, and I used 3 of the big ones because why not? And I put them in various places on my card. That one there. Put that one. Oh, where should I put them? Put that one up there, on there, like that. A bit of a glint going on in that section, and then I'm going to put one down here. I'm going to change the position of that one because you can't actually see it, can you? So I'll just take that one off. I'll piggle that off in a minute, and then get another one. Oh, it's sticking all over the place. I'm going to put that one over here. Well, I'm going to put it up here. That's better. Decisions, isn't it? Right, so there we go. There's my fancy fold. It's sort of a fancy fold, isn't it? It's not a flat card. But there we go. That's the card, all finished. I hope you've enjoyed our presentations tonight. I've really enjoyed using this suite and the DSP and the stamp sets because I'm not normally a heart person, but I think I am completely and utterly overwhelmed with hearts. So watch this space. There could be more stuff coming from Caroline's Creative Crafts, including hearts. So I'm hoping that Louise will now bring us all back together and mute us all, and we'll all be able to say goodbye and watch this space for the next one.
Well, hello everybody and good evening. I hope you really enjoyed that. Thank you for watching us live. We've had lots and lots of fun this evening. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing what you could actually make. Those are my 2 little bags. Caroline has got her wonderful card. I've never thought of doing that with hinges. And then we've got Elizabeth's wonderful card with the bookmarks. So you'll have to tune back in this time in a month's time, and we'll be live again, and we'll be sharing another Stampin' Up product. Don't know what it is yet. You'll have to wait and see. But take care. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for watching. Bye.